No. Bad news is part of life. When something unpleasant happens, you have to face it, Be realistic. There's no alternative.
When the Brady Bunch first aired around 40 years ago, it wasn't the biggest television show. In fact, for the 5 years of the show's original run, it never made the top 30 shows in the country.
Listen, Sam, I understand.
Yeah, but women don't.
But once the show was canceled and got syndication, it became one of the most popular shows in the country. The show has now reached iconic status and has gathered a huge following among people of all ages. When watching the Brady Bunch now, one sees it for the genius of a show that it originally was. Perhaps that's the reason why the series has endured and kept its relevance despite being over 40 years old. Right now, it's largely regarded as an American cultural icon. That's why in this video we'll be dissecting the Brady Bunch, and we'll be answering the one question that everyone is seeking an answer to. Where's the cast of the Brady Bunch now?
Well, you sound a little disappointed.
I thought you were going to be a telegram.
It's been over 40 years, and a lot of things must have happened in that period. How has time changed the characters from the show? Are they doing greater things now, or was the Brady Bunch the highlight of their career? Well, that's what this video will answer. And we're going to start with the most important character on the show, the father of the Brady Bunch himself, Mike Brady. Mike Brady was played by Robert Reed, an accomplished actor who sometimes had huge issues with the storyline of the Brady Bunch. Before being cast as Mike Brady, Reed had co-starred in shows like The Defenders, Star, Avanti, and Barefoot in the Park. Reed was also a classically trained actor, and in ordinary circumstances was destined for serious dramatic roles. Somehow, he felt that the Brady Bunch didn't quite satisfy that aspect of his ambition, and he frequently butted heads with the scriptwriters and producers of the show. His animosity toward the show got so intense that he refused to be on the season finale of the 5th season of the show, which also happened to be the last season of the show. After The Brady Show, Reed eventually got his dream dramatic roles and got 2 Emmy nominations for his roles in the 1976 Rich Man, Poor Man show and 1977 Roots miniseries. Interestingly, despite all the issues that Reed had with the original Brady Bunch show, he was involved in all the spin-offs of the show. Florence Henderson, Carol Brady. In The Brady Bunch, Florence Henderson played the role of the perfect matriarch, Carol Brady. She was simply everything the children ever wanted. She came through for them, kept them safe, and won the heart of the country. After she finished filming The Brady Bunch in 1974, she went on to play in many more shows, including all of the spin-offs from The Brady Show.
Thank you in advance.
Unfortunately for Florence, the success of the Brady Bunch had limited her freedom and career choices because everyone simply saw her as Carol Brady. To further her career, she had to become a celebrity spokesperson for a variety of products, and even went on reality celebrity shows like Dancing with the Stars and the Hollywood Squares. Sadly, Florence passed away in 2016 at the ripe old age of 82, but she will always be remembered as Carol Brady, the Brady matriarch that brought joy and happiness to our screens. Barry Williams, Greg Brady. The oldest of the Brady kids, Greg Brady, was played by Barry Williams. Before getting on The Brady Show, Williams had starred in several shows and had already had an enviable child career. After The Brady Show, Williams made a major decision. He decided that he would not be limited by television and would instead try every aspect of show business he was interested in.
I got some interesting stuff planned out for that little character.
And that's precisely what he did. From 1975 till now, Williams has dabbled in almost every part of show business. He's had a decent career in musical theater, recorded CDs, written a best-selling book, produced a television movie, written for several shows, and has even produced his TV show aptly named A Very Barry Branson. He's even gone on to a musical variety rock and roll show called 70s Music Celebration. All in all, Barry Williams has gone on to have a good and well-rounded career in show business. At 68, he's also currently the oldest surviving member of the Brady Bunch. How time has passed. Maureen McCormick, Marcia Brady. Marcia Brady, played by Maureen McCormick, was the eldest of the Brady girls, and on the show was an extremely smart, beautiful, confident character. After she finished filming The Brady Bunch, Maureen faced some problems in her professional life. For one, she found it hard to move on to other shows since she'd already been typecast as Marcia Brady. This setback in her career was so bad that it drove Maureen to addiction. It wouldn't be until 1997 that she finally got sober and got another good role, which was on the show Teen Angel. Before then, she also dabbled in music and released a country album titled When You Get a Little Lonely. Sadly, Maureen's career remained relatively quiet even after her role on Teen Angel. However, she went on several celebrity shows and even released a bestseller named Here's the Story: Surviving Marcia Brady and Finding My True Voice. Christopher Knight, Peter Brady. Christopher Knight played Peter Brady, the middle Brady child who was very protective of his on-screen sister, Cindy Brady. While playing Peter Brady turned out to be Christopher's biggest role, as he never really found more success outside the Brady Bunch as an actor, he managed to have other important roles in his career. For example, he had a regular role in the short-lived sitcom Joe's World in 1979. Shortly after that, he left the world of acting and went into the world of business, landing Martech Incorporated its first $1 million sales deal within his first 18 months. He also went on to found multiple companies like Visual Software, a company that was a pioneer in 3D graphics. Despite not being an actor anymore, Peter still honored every single invitation he got to be a part of the Brady Bunch universe, and was part of multiple spin-offs. Eve Plumb, Jan Brady. While most of the Brady kids didn't go on to have a great career in Hollywood, Eve, who played Jan Brady, was almost an exception. Even while in the show, she distinguished herself by showing a real gift and passion for acting. Immediately after the Brady Bunch, she got her first serious casting on the serious drama, Dawn, Portrait of a Teenage Runaway. The show got her real respect in Hollywood, but she wasn't ultimately able to break free of her perception as a Brady girl. Throughout her career, she played supporting roles in a lot of TV series and was present for almost every Brady spin-off. Right now, Eve isn't so much an actress as she is a real estate mogul. Her most successful investment, of course, is a Malibu home that she bought at age 11 for $55,000 and recently sold for about $3.5 million. Mike Lookinland, Bobby Brady. Bobby Brady was the youngest of the Brady boys and was played by Mike Lookinland. After the Brady show, Mike got a chance to star in The Swiss Family Robinson, an upcoming series, but refused it because he'd been so burnt out with being on The Brady Show. That single move altered his career trajectory and limited his biggest appearances on TV to the Brady Bunch reunions and spin-offs. Today, Mike is 61 and has pretty much abandoned Hollywood. He now operates a business that makes decorative concrete in Salt Lake City. That's very far from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, and just goes to show that the transition from child star to adult star is not as easy as it may seem. Susan Olsen, Cindy Brady. Susan Olsen played Cindy Brady, the naughty but adorable young Brady daughter who loved nothing more than to gossip. Like most of the Brady children, Susan didn't have a great career outside the Brady Bunch. Most of her subsequent appearances were limited to the Brady Bunch reunions and minor parts in small TV productions. But this doesn't mean that Susan has abandoned the world of TV completely, as she recently starred in the Lifetime Christmas movie Blending Christmas, alongside her Brady Bunch co-stars Christopher Knight, Mike Lookinland, and Barry Williams. Ann B. Davis, Alice Nelson. Interestingly, the Brady Bunch cast member with the most success in Hollywood wasn't a Brady at all.
Oh, nothing one able-bodied female can't handle.
It was Ann B. Davies who played the Brady's housekeeper, Alice Nelson. Before the Brady Bunch, Ann had won a pair of Primetime Emmys out of a total of 4 nominations. However, after the Brady Bunch, she abruptly left Hollywood and moved to Colorado, where she was until she died in 2014 at the age of 88. According to reports, Ann was heavily invested in charity and religious work in Colorado and mostly kept to herself. The Brady Bunch was a show that defined an era of American television, even though it wasn't so popular during its runtime. While most of the stars from the show didn't go on to distinguish themselves on other projects, they will always be in our hearts as the bunch who gave us the 5 perfect seasons of the Brady Bunch.